Good afternoon, dear colleagues and friends. My name is Nazary Boyarsky. I represent Ukrainian organization Democratic Initiatives Incubator, and I'm happy to moderate our online meeting. This online, which actually named Experience of Working with Forced Migrants Estonia. This online meeting is part of series of online meetings which dedicated to the needs of forced migrants, and we explore different experience from different countries. And today we have opportunity to talk about Estonia. So the online meeting is organized by the NGO Democratic Initiatives Incubator Ukraine within the framework of the project, the response of citizenship education to the challenges of forced migration, which is implemented by the working group of the ENC network, Citizenship Education and Forced Migration, supported by the Federal Agency for Civil Education, using funds appropriated by the Federal Foreign Office, Germany. We will spend next, I think, hour and maybe a little bit more together, and therefore I would like to share with you some wishes for our joint work. So first of all, it's happened that you can have problems with connection. So in this case, please try to restart the connection by pressing F5 if you work with via laptop, or try other opportunities to do it to relaunch the page. Or also you can try to change the internet source of or the device you are using. People who participate via Zoom platform, we have possibility to communicate via chat. Also, if you participate via online screening to the Facebook page of Democratic Initiatives Incubator. So there you can also use chat, and I will try to not lose any of your comments from my other device also. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment and put your questions to the chat. And as I mentioned, we are doing video recording of this webinar. So if you don't want to be on this video recording, then please switch off your camera and use chat to communicate. With this small introduction and technical instruction, I would like to introduce our main speaker, Yulia Stolberova from Estonia. I'm super happy, Yulia, to see you. Knowing you for already about a year, I'm really inspired and happy to know you, and I'm excited to hear about your experience of Estonia working with forced migrants. So the floor is yours, and in 1 minute I will start your presentation.
Okay, hello to everybody. I'm really happy to be here with you today. For me, online meetings are always a challenge because I'm by myself as an empath, and I feel people by being with them physically, but online gives us a lot of more opportunities to be together in our present life. So despite the fact we are not physically together, I'm very glad to see some of you, and we should get to know each other and to talk about some points that are really important for me during this meeting. So first of all, I'm very glad to meet you, and my name is Julia Stepanova, as Nazar already told, and I was born and living in Estonia. I'm a lawyer by education and a logistician by vocation, but Fit agreed that for the last 13 years, I've been working in the third sector. 15 years ago was born my second son, and he has a very rare genetic syndrome. So it has been changed not only my personal life, but also the professional one. My main areas of activity for the moment are support of families in which kids and youths with special needs are growth. And the second one is inclusive education. At the moment, I do have 3 non-profit organizations. One of them is private and the only one in Estonia, inclusive school. And 2 of them are trying to help youths and kids with disabilities to be part of our society. For all 13 years, I have been a volunteer of various of organizations in parallel with my professional life. And for the 4 last years, I volunteers in various integrational projects. My husband immigrated to Estonia about 4 years ago, a little bit more. So we went through the integrational path together with him also. About some main points of our meeting. First of all, if you do have such an opportunity, I would like to ask you to turn on your cameras. So I will not feel myself so lonely. Secondly, I would ask you to ask questions immediately, because this concrete meeting is for you, not for me. Nazar pointed the main positions which I have to go through, but please feel free to ask any questions you are interested in, because I'm ready to share everything I know, everything from my experience. So first of all, I have to tell you about the general immigration situation in Estonia. If Nazar is ready with the slides, or okay. Hope he will be back with the slides. As in many different countries, in Estonia, we do have 3 reasons for ordinary immigration. The first one is settler. Also, we do call it a migrant, is a person cases to be permanent resident of the third country, not a European Union member state. And this person moves to the UA, in our case in Estonia. The second reason is person is moving to Estonia in connection with marriage to a citizen of the Estonia, like my husband did. And the third reason is a person coming to study in Estonia, and he can apply for duty relief on educational materials and certain persons belonging intended for personal use during studies. So these were the typical reasons for migration. But now it's a little bit changed for last 3 years. As you know, the Estonia is a digi state, so it's a great bonus for all kinds of migration. At the moment, the most time-consuming process is waiting for your turn in some boards, and maybe for special places of residence for forced immigrants. All paperwork could be done in an hour or so. So there are quite a few forced migrants in Estonia, actually, because Estonia is a really very, very small country, and traditionally it is not a place of interest of forced migrants. Actually, our economic stability and experience in integrating already living people with other citizenships are not very good. That's why migrants are also not interested in Estonia. As you know, we do have several big different groups of people in Estonia. The biggest ones are people who were born in Estonia and whose native language is Estonian also. The other very big group, it is about 47% at the moment, are those people who were born in Estonia, but whose mother language is Russian. Because of that, Estonia is trying to do integrational processes for last 25 years already. And unfortunately, we cannot say that they are already done or they are good enough for those people who are living here. But still, some 3 years ago, we start to talk about forced migrants. Usually to Estonia, they came in recent years from Central Asia, from Middle East, and from Africa. Last year, from Ukraine and Russia. Over the past 2 years, Estonia has received about 200 forced migrants. And the fact is that more than half of them have already left the country. The reasons are mainly security issues. If we talk about the physical security, then Estonia has it. Estonia is a very secure country, but people also need a social protection. The cultural and linguistic aspect is also important. For example, a person who came to a very, very small Estonian town where only one Arabic family lives, this family does not feel safely enough. Yes, of course, they will have a roof over their heads and the observe of war, but they can also receive social services, but they will not have a sense of some cultural and linguistic security, and they will stay there absolutely alone. So these kind of families, they just left Estonia to find some another country for living, mostly for Sweden, maybe Germany. But still, I can point some important things about what Estonia actually do for forced migrants. We do care about new arrivals, like we do have a lot of information to share. Thanks for Estonian outstanding solutions and friendly and helpful officials coming to Estonia to live, work, and study could be easier. Issue like learning and practicing Estonian, how things are organized generally in country, working and running a business, education, choosing somewhere to live, medical assistance, social support, public services and benefits are just as important as residence permit to those arrivals in our country. The migrants specialist at the Police and Border Guard bootcamp advised new arrivals on issues related to residence permits. At the moment, we have about 100 volunteers daily. These volunteers speaks at least 3 languages. It is English, Estonian, Russian. Some of them do speak Ukraine, but we can say that they can deal with it. And we do have a lot of Estonian trainings and citizenship trainings. They are open for all kinds of migrants. They are organized in 7 different languages at the moment, and the courses take place at least in 4 Estonian bigger cities, and the length of these courses are from 1 week till 8 months. So you can definitely choose which of the courses you do need now. If you do have enough time for joining and other people to get acquainted with the country, you can choose the longer one. Maybe I should point that on these courses at the moment are taking part a maximum 12 participants, which make these courses more individual as it's usually are. They are talking not only about our constitution and laws, they are talking a lot about habits of the Estonians, traditional ways and forms of communication, and etc. About very important things for being here, for about life of Estonian people. Also, we offer a lot of events and competitions for migrants. They are not only about first steps on Estonian life, but about sports, about linguistic competition, languages cafe, cultural meetings, visits to farms for purpose of living and communication with traditional Estonian people, and much more. If we talk about the latest way of migration, then the social and border force of Estonia, they have really mobilized, and they are working as effectively as possible as they can. Since February 24, can I have a look? 109,000 citizens of Ukraine have arrived in Estonia, of which, according to the data in the time of crossing the border, 38,000 intended to stay in Estonia. For small Estonia, it is huge numbers. So basic moments for migrants are, of course, temporary protection. From 9th of March, war refugees in Ukraine can apply for temporary protection in Estonia by submitting an application. At the moment, we offer a temporary protection for 1 year, but if the circumstances will bring, if they will need it longer, so it could be prolonged. Together with the citizenship of Ukraine, the relatives who are citizens in another countries can be here also for 1 year. And they are offered first aid if necessary, assistance with clothing and other assistance, as well as free accommodation. Free accommodation Estonia offers for 1 month only as a state, but after that, local government is taking responsibility to find a place for living for those people. Together with obtaining temporary protection, a residence permanent in Estonia for 1 year and the right to work are guaranteed, and children are guaranteed access to preschool and basic education. Because I do have a school on my own, I can tell you that we have a difficult situation about education of these kids for some reasons. First of all, if we're talking about the youths For example, if children are in 7th or 8th and 9th class, it is very, very difficult for them to start to study on Estonian language. Estonia would offer to them only schools who offers education in Estonian language. It is really very difficult. If we're talking about younger kids, they can handle it. We had a very good experience. A lot of people are waiting for the moment then they will come back to Ukraine, and this is understandable, and there is no sense to start to study a very difficult language because Estonian is not like Ukraine and it is really difficult. But still everybody have an opportunity to join a school or preschool. In Estonia, preschool education is not obligatory, so you have to, you can choose. Also, children and teenagers from Ukraine who came to Estonia, they are able to continue their education at the level of education they had in Ukraine. And as far as I know, everybody of them are trying to do both Ukraine school and Estonian one. This is also pretty hard for them. What should I say more about school? To apply a place in a kindergarten, contact local government offers a place in kindergarten, and this is some kind of problem because in Ukraine you can they have to give you this place, in Estonia not, because it is not compulsory. So it's some kind of problem if adults want to go to work. Sure, refugees are entitled to health insurance on the same basis as people living in Estonia. What does it mean? That means that if you do not have health insurance, you cannot have this if you're not working, if you're not paying taxes, you do not have health insurance. This is the way we're living here in Estonia, and for refugees is the same situations. For first 3 months, Estonia gives health insurance for free, but after that you have to find a job to pay taxes and etc. Ambulance team is available for everybody for free by sure if something really bad happening. Also, additional of general medical examinations are carried out for the war refugees in order to check the state of health. This is made on the border during first 3 days being in Estonia, but people can refuse of it, and mainly they do. The Estonian state also financed the provision of HIV or drug treatment services if it is needed. Of course, what should I say more? Of course, war refugees, they have a right to receive the living allowance and number of other benefits at the same position as Estonian people. And Ukrainians who have received temporary protection can start work immediately after receiving protection on the same day. They also have the right to register as unemployed, and they will receive labor market services and benefits on the same basis as Estonian people. For example, at the moment, this is if you cannot find a job, you will have about 645 euros monthly. Of course, you cannot rent a room for this money, but if you have a living place for free from the local government, you can have enough money for food and for other stuff. During the adaptation phase, the most important are various information and consulting services that help to understand the situation in Estonian labor market and opportunities, how to find a job, how to find a place for study for kids, and etc. It is very important that you can also receive Estonian language training courses for free. We have a lot of them. We have a very simple one, online language schools, language cafes, and etc. It's really rare. That's it for this. Okay, I should point if you are pension, if Ukraine pays a pension to Ukrainian pensioner who have received temporary protection in Estonia, usually it is less money that you need in Estonia. For example, in Estonia, the smallest size of pension is 275. If Ukraine pension is less, then local government pays this difference to the person so they can live. But also we have for these people many others donation funds which helps to survive, because 275 it's really small money for living in Estonia, even you do have not to pay for rent or something like that, but still. We also do have an adaptational programs. The biggest two are in Tallinn, because Tallinn is the capital of Estonia, and in Narva, because Narva is the biggest city across the border. So they do have two Estonian language houses there. These houses are open since 2018 in Estonia, and they are really effective and really good ones. They provide a supportive Estonian language environment for language learners, first of all, but also for those who want to find some adaptational program. However, I would like to one very special course, which is developed by a friend of mine, Natalia Kitam. Her husband some 15 years ago came from Italy to Estonia, and he knows only Italian, and it was a very long way of adaptation here. And so they designed a very good language adaptational program for everybody. And now it's working for Ukrainian migrants also. Natalia is, you can find her in Facebook, Natalia Kitam, and she's always ready to help with any questions. In additional to regular language lessons, language houses provide the opportunity of taking part in special courses to own your Estonian skills through contact learning or online. Special courses with the volume of from 40 till 80 academic hours develop certain special skills. Not only talking, but writing, listening, and pronunciation is very important in Estonian. In addition, they've foster communication to help break down the language barriers. They will definitely find some studies in Estonian for you, or the other practice is to find very kind grandmother or grandfather who have a lot of free time to talk with you daily, because without practice we cannot do anything, as you know. That's all that I should say about our programs. I tried to gather together links that will help you. All these links in my presentation are in English, but through these links you can find a lot of information. Some of them is in Russian, but Estonian we do have very less information in Russian. In some links you can even find information in Ukraine. That's it actually. But I heard Nazar has already one question about kids with special needs.
Yeah, thank you so much for your presentation. We already have some questions. Sorry, I faced a lot of technical problems, but it looks like with help of my colleagues, we fix them more or less. And first, I would like to ask you maybe my question. I know that you have students in your school from Ukraine. Yes, so my question will be, was it difficult for them to adapt and make friends in school? Maybe they face any kind of problems with communication, socialization, and if so, then how teachers can help young people to socialize?
Thank you. We have a very rare school because we are working for 4 years already. Our school is pretty young and pretty small. At the moment, we do have 120 kids here. But from the very first day, we declaim that we are inclusive school. So we do have kids from very, very different countries, from Egypt, from Russia, from Ukraine, from Latvia, from Lithuania, from Estonia, and etc. So they are very, very different ones. And just now for the Ukrainian kids, this kind of school is very comfortable because all kids are different. If we're talking about regular school, they do have problems because Ukrainian kids cannot feel themselves as much comfortable as they could, because at one hand, everything is on Estonian and it is difficult for them. On the other hand, all generally habits and the ways we are communicating are different in Ukraine and in Estonia. We do have a very long distance communication. We do not talk a lot. We are not so emotional. It's not good and not bad. It's just another way of being communicating. And this is difficult, but I know that my colleagues are doing a lot of work and they are doing weekly. Can you imagine every week team building work with the kids and to help them to be adapted. In our school, we do team building monthly, but actually it is not needed. Together, if kid is well-being of the kid is okay at the moment, so he can be comfortable in our school from the very first day. And on the other hand, because we do have a lot of kids with special needs in the school, we do have a very big team of supporting people. We have 3 psychologists and they are able to work with everybody.
Thank you so much. And we also have one question from Natalia, and she will ask you personally.
Yes, hello. I'm sorry I am without video because of not very good internet, because of I am in Ukraine, I am in Kharkiv, and you know about our racket attacks and so my question, first of all, thank you very much. I understand you very good because of I am a mother of adult son with complex, very hard mental and physical disability. We are similar. And I would like to ask you about maybe some opportunities, some supporting of for families who come to Estonia, and when these families have children or adult person with mental or complex disability. I know maybe I don't know, but I think maybe you have some rehabilitation center, maybe they supporting center for take opportunity for mother or father be working. I'm sorry for my English, and I'm worried now, and maybe I talk some incorrect. What about person with mental and complex disabilities? Thank you.
Thank you, Natalia. Your English is good enough. Don't worry.
Thanks a lot.
We have two different stories. If we're talking about the kids under the age of 18 with disability, it doesn't matter what kind of it. We have a bigger support in Estonia for them, because we do have rehabilitation plans for them. We have donations from the states, from the local government, and etc. And we have a support for families, like additional free times on which special peoples are taking care of your kids, special programs at school, and so on. But when we're talking about grown-up person under the age of 18, we do not have a lot, actually. First of all, of course, rehabilitation is also working. We call it social rehabilitation, and it could be a support of this person during the whole of the life. It doesn't matter. But we also do have daily centers. Daily centers that mean that people with mental health diseases can be there since 8 till 5 every working day, since Monday till Friday. But we do have not enough places for everybody. Sometimes you have to wait your place for several years there. We also do have centers where this kind of people live for the daily basis. They just live there, and they can go home for some weekends or for vacations. We call it family centers, because people with some kind of disabilities, it doesn't matter if it is about mental health or whatever, autism, they are just living there and they are working there. They do have some, I don't know, cows and etc., chickens, and they are growing them. If you need, I will send through Nazar some links. You can see by yourself the centers. We do not have a lot of them, but still I can point some 5 of them through Estonia. And I think for the adult person,
it would be perfect. Thank you.
Yes, this is the best way of living, because when you're already grown up, even you do have a mental health, you want to be an independent person. You want to feel yourself as a,
Sure.
yes, not as a kid at home. And on the other hand, your parents can live their own life, not to be your, I don't know, supporting person all the time. I will send you links through Nazar.
Thanks a lot. And a little question: is it organization? It's state body, or it's just initiation of people like you and me?
Yes, it's always about you and me.
I see. As usually, as in Ukraine, only parents know what for their children will be better.
Yes, usually these projects are really, really very expensive and huge ones. And maybe sometimes state does not have enough time, enough people, enough funding for all things like that. And all these centers were held by the parents firstly, but now, of course, local government, they support them.
Thanks a lot. You are amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question. And English is not, I think it's not native language for sure, like for me and Julia. And it's good that we can have common language to understand each other, even if it's not perfect. So maybe we have some additional questions from other participants. You have now like possibility to ask if you would like. You also can use Ukrainian language if it's more comfortable for you, and I'm translated. Якщо би хотіли задати запитання українською про досвід Естонії в роботі з вимушеними мігрантами та мігрантками, будь ласка, можете зробити це українською, я перекладу. Окей.
Maybe I would point from myself as an employee. We do have 43 workers at the moment at school, and 9 of them came from the Ukraine. So it is normal already for us during the last year that people without knowing Estonia are working, and they are actually studying and learning Estonian much more than those who are living here. So you definitely can find work in Estonia. It is not like we're just talking that we're supporting, but we're not. And I know a lot of organizations that will definitely take some workers from the Ukraine if they would like to.
Super. So on this optimistic note, I would like then to finish our meeting. And dear Julia, then I invite you to say some closing words, maybe something that you would like to share and inspire us, maybe even a little bit more.
It is not so easy to inspire somebody who lives in a very sunny country come to raining Estonia, but Estonia is raining and small, but still it's safe at the moment, and we will be glad to help and support for everybody who needs it really. And globally, we know how to take care about families with kids, and especially families with kids with special needs. And if you will need some advice ever or help, you can turn to me through Nazar. I'm sure he will share the information. The system of acceptance of refugees now it's already working. So feel free if you will need any time to contact and to ask where you can find those or that information.
Thank you so much, dear Yulia. So it's time to finish our meeting. And I would like to say that the inauguration form for this online meeting is, I hope, on our chat, or my colleague will send it in just a moment. We kindly ask you to fulfill it with your support, with information which you give us in this form. Yeah, it's already, you can see it on the chat. We can do our next online meetings better and also find some topics which interesting for you. So please spend just like few minutes to fill it out. I also would like to remind you that the online meeting is conducted by the NGO Democratic Initiatives Incubator from Ukraine within the framework of the project, the response of citizenship education to the challenges of forced migration, which is implemented by the working group of the ENC network, Citizenship Education and Forced Migration, supported by the Federal Agency for Civil Education, using funds appropriated by the Federal Foreign Office, Germany. Many thanks for all project partners for their support. Thanks to the webinar speaker, Yulia, for an interesting and inspiring presentation. Thank you, dear participants, that you found time to spend with us this hour. And I hope to see you at other event. Actually, today we will have a meeting about experience of Germany, so you still have a possibility to join it at 6 o'clock by Kiev time. See you next time, and thank you so much for participation.